YouTube, Brent with Bees Cichlids here. Kind of wanted to share with you guys some new updates to, I guess you could call it the fish house. I don't have a specific fish room. I have tanks spread throughout the house just to kind of distribute the weight, and I rent, so when I buy a place, I'm probably going to have a basement fish room or something like this. This, I'm guessing, is probably like a flower horn or a Texas mix. I think the guy at the pet store thought it was a Dempsey mix, but I don't know. I've seen flower horns that kind of look like this. I've seen red Texas mixes that look like this. So if you have any thoughts, you can let me know. But I believe we ended up naming this guy Mayhem. So name seems suiting at the moment. So at any rate, that's one of our new guys. This is a silver datinoid that we picked up. My girlfriend ended up naming him 007, so she just had to have this guy. He was already interacting with her at the store and kind of playing with her, and she just fell in love with him. So this is my 30 rack tank. So I'm gonna turn it to me because the house is kind of a mess right now, so I don't want you guys to see it. But so here's my Regani / Geophagus tank. Right now it's just light coming in from the outside, and these guys are really skittish, so they don't much like being videoed. And this is the Regani. Just gorgeous when I put the lights on. I mean, you can kind of tell in this, just this view right here, that he's a nice looking guy. Girlfriend and I are gonna go get some larger community tanks, so at that point we're gonna put the Regani in with some of the other Vieja species, and these Geos will probably find some calmer fish to put them in with. So yeah, so these guys don't really get very active during the day, especially if they know they're being watched. So I don't know, I guess I might need to work on them a little bit. Of course, Capone, our Doberman, is following me around everywhere. He's got to be in the know. So this is our spare bedroom, and we keep a couple of tanks in here. And this is Lazarus. He's getting all riled up right now. I should probably, of course, he's not gonna like this, but I want to show you guys that he's actually sizing up pretty good. He's our black Piranha, and we call him Laz for short. But my girlfriend's been feeding him fresh shrimp lately, so he twirls around in circles and gets all excited about that. The frozen stuff you get from the store, he wasn't, I think the sense and the freshness of it kind of awakens the senses, I guess. So yeah, he really likes that. This is one of those plants that I put in here, and it's kind of scraggly, but it's still living, so I'm gonna keep it in there. And then I got a big piece of wood in there. Blaze, this is our Rose Queen. I had him for quite a while already, and he's in a 45 bull front on his own. He really likes rearranging all the rocks, so that's what he does. And you can see there's a lot of snails in here. I personally don't mind them. They kind of help with algae control and getting all the stuff off the driftwood. And I swear Laz actually probably eats them because he doesn't eat much else. Doesn't have much of an appetite most of the time when I'm going to feed him, unless there's something that he likes. So there are those two. So moving on to my 55 in the living room. So here is just a mixed cichlid tank, and I've got one albino channel cat. So yeah, at some point, I'm probably gonna have to make a great big plywood aquarium for this guy or something of that sort, but this has got an assortment of cichlids in here. That's my platinum cichlid. It's can't remember what the scientific name is, but it's some sort of vieja. And then I've got a couple of black belts. I've got a nice looking green terror in there, flower horn, green Texas, wild Colombian Oscar, a big Placo, and I want to say there's a couple others in here too, but this is basically just a grow out tank. So I just did a water change and I rearranged the stuff because I put in the platinum and the Oscar, and I didn't want them picking on these guys. So they're doing really well. So anyway, so that's that tank. My living room tank actually has quite a bit in there, so don't judge me. But like I said in one of my earlier videos, my 100 burst, so I've got to take that apart and seal it back together again. And I had the red devils in there, and I also had a couple of other fish in there, but when that burst I had to toss these guys here. So this is a very large assortment. Like I said, the devils weren't in here, and this electric blue Texas wasn't in here, but they get along quite nicely. I keep the water clear, as you can see. I have to clean the filter padding out quite a bit. I usually just rinse it in my tank water and reuse it. So yeah, got some big Oscars, big Dempseys. My Waru is looking pretty darn awesome now. Flower horn. My flower horn and my red Texas. This Texas guy, I've never seen anything like him, but just, you know how they say they fade? Well, he just never seems to have gotten out of that stage, and so, I don't know. I think he's pretty awesome. So that's that. And then I have a quarantine tank over here. The other day, actually yesterday, I just picked up a Panda Waru. You can probably see him on the bottom there, but he, you know, is yet to kind of get his coloring and his patterns and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really kind of hopeful about him. I've got a black convict up here as one of my offsprings. Missing an eye, so I just decided to keep him instead of rehoming him. We call him Sparky. Gold comp, a couple of frontosas, and I have about four bristlenose Placos, and there's the Waru actually kind of getting a little bit more active. I haven't seen that much yet, but like I said, we just got him yesterday. So that's that tank. So all said and done, I actually have about, I think, 16 tanks set up. There's one that my roommate has down in the basement that I keep maintenance on. So I'm gonna turn the lights on for these guys. So here's my African tank. Most of these guys in here have kind of grown from birth, so of course the lighting is terrible, but you guys have seen this before. Very nice looking fish and very, very active, so I really have a good time with these guys. I'll do another video at some point to these guys when it's not so bright, but down here is another quarantine, and so we've got like I can't remember what they call them. It's like a blue parrot or something like that. So basically what I think it is a convict parrot mix. Wasn't so excited about him at the store, but my girlfriend really wanted him. Brought him home. Really like him. Lighting's not hitting him too great right now, but same with this vieja mix. Just a beautiful, beautiful fish, and so we really like him. So, like I said, when it's not daytime, I'll have to take the video out here sometime and show you guys. So those are my new additions. And one that I'm really excited about, me personally, this is kind of my guy, but so I was really itching for a Piranha after I saw Big Moby on YouTube, so I went out and got one. He is really pretty. I like him, and he's pretty personable already. So I'm gonna work with him, and he's already kind of thick. I noticed that this guy has already got kind of a stocky stature as opposed to my black Piranha, so I think that's really cool. This is just a quarantine hexagon tank, but so basically I'm using an under gravel filter in here. Cleaned out another one of my tanks, and I put the old dirty water in here, and cleaned out some of my sponges, and then I cleaned out some of my sponges in my tank water, and then I poured all that water in here, and then before I put him in, of course, then I had this thing running for a day with that air filter, and then before I put him in, I did a water change, and I put half of my old other tank water that was cleaner, and then I topped it off with half clean water. So basically I just jump started the system. So I, instead of buying one of those starter things, I just, started on my own, and then I put some established decorations in here and stuff. So yeah, like I said, just a jump start, and so he seems pretty happy already. He's a little sheepish just because of the move, just kind of like the other new ones I got, but doesn't seem to mind too much. So yeah. Anyways, we ended up naming this guy Truffles. Thought that was kind of a fitting name, especially because he's gonna get kind of big and pudgy faced a little bit. So yeah, that's Truffles. I've got I think it's a strawberry Peacock Cichlid over here, and a quarantine, I think it's a 40, not positive, but he's back up in here, or she rather. She was carrying babies, so I threw her in here, and I was just hoping that she'd have her babies in here. I don't have any experience with stripping them, so, and I kind of like this algae growth going on here, so I've just left it. It's in a warm, sunny room, so I just leave it that way. Haven't seen the babies yet. The girlfriend has, and so I'm just taking her word for it. So, haven't showed you guys Moby. Give me a second here while I set my phone down, because I want to have the light on him. But I haven't shown you guys Jersey in a while. And he has gotten like freaking ginormous, guys. So, his hump still there. His he's thickened out, gotten a little bit longer, and he is just a beast, and just as lively as ever. So he's come to liking this 6-inch Y PVC pipe that I put in here. And so I think I'm gonna actually take out those clay pots, figure out some sort of driftwood to put in here. Maybe take those rocks out, put them in a different tank, and then those porcelain goldfish piggy banks in another tank, and just kind of, spruce up this tank a bit, because he is my boy. Yeah, aren't you, Jers? Yeah. Beast. Yeah, he's cool. Love him. Love him. He's my boy. So, move on. And I think that I've pretty much shown you guys everything but two. Of course, kind of forget when you don't make a planned, stop. So, at any rate, this is our 100-gallon stock goldfish tank. I had some koi in here at one point, and then I gave them to somebody with a pond. So, just kept the goldfish. We've got assorteds in here. So, there's actually, I rehomed a couple of minnows. One of the women that I work with, her son had some minnows and plopped them in her goldfish tank and got too big for her. So I took them on, couple of Arandas. I've got a Sarasa, I think that's what they call it, Sarasa goldfish or a Sarasa comet or something like that, a Blackmore, and just a couple of those feeder comets that you find, you know. Just kind of wanted them to have a life, so took them on. And then my filter I've showed to you guys before. It's completely, like, not fancy, but it's incredibly functional. I have a pump pumping up to this 5-gallon bucket. It acts as a swirl filter, and then it pours it into my sit on top filter, which is filled with lava rock and pot scrubbies. And this is in my walk-in room, so I don't really mind it all too much, but at some point I'm gonna do something just as nice looking as it is functional, and you know, so that I can be a little bit more proud of it. But for now, this is doing its job. And then I got one more fish to show you guys. This is Chaz. He's my blood parrot. He's had this fungal growth thing growing on for a long time now. I treated him for a while, it didn't get better. I let it be, it got worse, and then I started treating it again, and it's going way down. So I think this time I'm gonna beat it, and then he's gonna have a friend. Him and that parrot mix will be hanging out together. So yeah, Chaz, he's in it for the long haul. So I hope you guys enjoyed my fish tanks. Like I said, there's another one down there, but down in the basement, but it's just got some live bears in there. So I don't spend much time down there. It's mainly for my roommate. So I think that's about it. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.